I think like for me the key parts of like living my daily life is to try to just be good to yourself, to other people, and to the planet. And if you can do those three things, then you're in a pretty good position.
Agreed. This is Street Connect, a project that I started to bring more purpose and connection into New York City life. And I do that by having conversations with strangers.
Death row meal. What's the last thing you're eating? Like your favorite, your go-to meal.
Okay. I like that question. I just love bacon. Like good bacon, not so good bacon. As long as it's made from a pig, I'm here for it. Do I have to choose one?
Yeah, you have a platter. Bet. We're going 12 courses. Here we go.
So I'm gonna just mix it up. I like ravioli.
Ooh.
If it's good.
All right.
I would get donuts. Right. I would get the coconut cream from Donut Plant or the maple bacon bar from the Donut Project. I know that. But I'll take a black tap burger with some nice tater tots. They don't have to be fancy. I'll take some bonchon wings.
Okay.
Soy garlic. Flats. And what I said, donut, burger, wings, ravioli.
What are you drinking?
A milkshake.
Oh.
Yes. Or Ting, which it...
grapefruit soda. Yes. Girl, I know.
I feel like, okay, so we're... Yes. Yes.
I haven't had Ting, I think, since I was 11.
That's a long time.
It's a long time.
Yeah, to not have a most delicious thing.
Yeah.
I also will get a roti from Allie's in Brooklyn.
Okay.
And a beef patty, chicken patty, sorry, from Tropical Bakery in the Bronx. These are like my favorite New York eater things.
I love this.
Now I'm hungry. What has been your deepest pain?
Okay. I have lived a life where I'm very, very lucky and I'm very, very blessed. And I try to acknowledge everything as like a lesson and acknowledge everything like that God's put this in my life for a certain reason. And regardless, I have such a great support system of my family and my friends that I've been able to rely on some really great people to help me through like situations that are not like horrible, but like you need like a hand up sometimes here and there. Like what I feel the most guilty about is I was really close to my great grandmother, and she got sick 2 years ago and died within 2 weeks, and I didn't go home to see her before she died.
I'm so sorry to your loss.
Thank you. But it was something where I like wasn't sure what was the right thing to do in that situation. I was in school, and it was to the point where by the time that I came home, she was gone. And it was something that I feel really guilty about that I wasn't there at the end. But I guess it's the cool thing about FaceTime is I was able to talk to her over FaceTime. So shout out to Steve Jobs for that. That's carried over and that's affected my relationships like with like her daughter, my grandmother, and like then with my parents. And just seeing, because we were really close and now my grandmother is kind of projecting her grievance on me.
Because you weren't there? Or
not because I wasn't there, but I think she's trying to connect with me a lot over my great grandmother in a way that because we were so close, she's really drawing on that connection to try to connect back to her mother. And I can see it happening. And I acknowledge like why she's doing these things. But it's a lot of like guilt trips for me and asking me to do things that in my point in the grieving process, I'm still not ready to do. And so it's something where I feel like a bad granddaughter too when I don't want to engage in these activities. I don't feel comfortable.
To like honor her or?
Not to honor her, but like I still feel very uncomfortable in her house. Like I grew up in her house for a while. And it'll be things like my grandmother will ask me like, oh, I want you to come over and see this new thing that I did to the house. And I feel very uncomfortable being in that house still, and I don't want to go over there. And she doesn't understand like why I don't feel comfortable in the house when she still has to live there. So it's things like that, and then we get in arguments about it, and it's like I recognize that it's both of our own issues that we're projecting on each other, and it has nothing to do with each other.
Right.
It sucks because in that moment, like, we hurt each other, and I don't want to do that to her, and I know that she doesn't want to do that to me. So that's been rough, but it's something where we also don't sit down to have this conversation ever, which we should. Which we should. Maybe I will. No, I talked to a stranger in the park about the fact that I should talk to my grandmother. It's better to make smaller steps rather than trying to make one big leap and fall.